Good, and my camera's broken. We'll deal with this in a moment. But hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Elendor Chronicles, brought to you by the Component Cast. My name is Midgeman, and I'm joined by a wonderful amount of people. Just a few things before we get started. As always, the first thing being, if you hear noise in the background of my microphone, it is how we like to call it, hucking fot in the UK, because apparently Satan decided to make Britain its new realm. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Asmodeus is like right outside, and apparently I'm its bitch. So, that's so. Again, I do apologize if you hear some noise in the background. It won't be there for the entire time. It's just because my office is in a dodgy location. I will also fix my camera very soon. Again, Mordred is still on holiday, so he's away, and then currently, Ghibli is still ill, and we're hoping for a swift recovery there. Outside of that, we're all good. We're all groovy. I'm not going to keep us any longer. The album for our soundtrack album is still ongoing, the process, and if you're a patron, you got early access to an early copy of the music you heard over the intro today. Woo! Yes, become a patron if you want to help fund cool shit. That's all. And we also apologize for the lack of other broadcasts recently. I hope you're enjoying the Trikoka reruns. There's some sort of hellscape happening in Canada right now, which kind of screwed up our Wednesday broadcast. But Beth, are we kind of on track to be back this week?
Better.
Yeah, cool.
Better.
It's slightly better.
The wind's blowing the other way now, so...
Yeah, it's just California that's going to be consumed. It's fine.
Other side of the it's actually the East Coast. This is new for us.
Either way, we're going to get on with tonight's broadcast because I want to get into the show and I'm excited to play. So we'll see you in just a moment. Beep. So we are back. Who would like to do the recap this week?
I guess I'll take that over.
Yes, go for it.
All right, so we started last week, basically all kind of reconvening together back at the Skyfire to have a little bit of a discussion. We were told that we were going to get, what was it, oh no, we had, Ruby had gotten a letter written for us, and she came back. We discussed with Breton about how he was going to become, like, the next head of the Castilian theocracy, right? And then kind of take over the little area that we're in right now to get the relief and recovery efforts going in a better direction. A little bit more cohesive control. After that, pretty sure we went out into the middle of the woods in a nice little clearing because Ruby had come back instead of being Soul and expressed that they wanted to reacquaint themselves with a previous catastrophe. Some discussion happened about that. We made it out there. And I'd say, to a positive note, we all didn't die. We all didn't get consumed in a conflagration of Ruby's extraplanar attachment. And we got some answers. Well, she got some answers. From there, where did we go? Let's see. We started talking about how we kind of jumped over to Darius and Darius's background and how his family is quickly descending upon us. And that's something that we need to address either by confronting them or running from them. Darius wants to run. I don't know where the rest of the party kind of stood on that one. I don't think we all kind of came to a cohesive mentality. And we basically ended off with Valmir, James, and Darius discussing a little bit of a glimpse into Darius's past after he had a sort of waking vision where he was physically affected with a stab wound to his gut. I think that kind of sums it up.
It does indeed kind of sum it up, I have to say, and I would say that is worth all of the points. Yes, you get a point of inspiration.
Good deal.
So we left off with Darius clutching at a bleeding stomach with a small interrogation between James, Valmir, and Claudia as they recognized this. So, the party had a frank discussion about how dangerous Darius's family catching up to them really is and where they want to go with that, but also were left with the decision of how do they want to align the city, because they have an inn. They have an inn, but there's a lot of politics ahead. I'm going to start with Breton. Breton, is there anything else that you need or want to prepare towards your order? As I know you were working on a few things towards the end last time. Is Lake here?
Thought he was. I heard him not too long ago.
Amanda stepped away for a second.
Might have stepped away for a second. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then to the rest of you. Is there anything else you'd like to do before we begin Operation Reunite the Theocracy?
Level up.
Not that easy, Valmir, not that easy.
Go in the ton trying to kill a whole bunch of boars.
I think after we wrapped up our conversation, Darius, Valmir, and I James would have definitely let Darius know, like, hey, we're not going to spread this around. Like, we could keep this between the three of us for now.
I would have liked to keep it between just me, but all right.
Well,
The
you know,
cat is out of the bag.
things sometimes happen. I assure you, it was unintentional.
Consider it
Sleeves.
a bonding experience where we get to know each other better.
Darius leaves by himself. He just goes, he just leaves by himself, clutching his stomach. Just everybody leaves him by himself down deck.
You should go see the medic. Well, that was me who's the medic here.
I mean, I suppose that you are the main medic now, right? With all your potions.
Well, it's surgical experience, I'd say. Patching things up.
You got more experience with blood than most of us put together.
I'd say I have more experience with blood than probably most people on this ship.
Exactly. So, I mean, if anyone I'm sure he's fine. I stitched him up. I closed the wound. I just didn't replace the blood. Is where I'm at.
That will replace itself in time. How do you feel with your new powers, Valmir?
It's strange because it feels like there's a part of me that's obviously missing. There's a part of me that I got used to having that isn't there. But that part of me always made me feel quite uncomfortable anyway. And other than that, it's kind of like I got more magic. Like Aureus is clearly so much more powerful than Arakaz ever was, because I've got more magic now than I did before.
You know, my friend, sometimes when you have a more benevolent being such as Aureus, they're not afraid to share whatever power they have with you because they're not afraid of being usurped. But a demon such as your father was afraid of giving you more and making you stronger than him. It's just the type of environments they live in. It's what divides them sometimes. A willingness to give freely and hiding and just hoarding out of fear.
Well, the whole purpose of giving me and the others powers was to let it grow in us and then harvest it back. So you don't plant an entire tree, you plant a seed and you let the seed grow. If you plant a tree, there's not much more growing it can do.
Yes, but it can help the rest.
Well, I mean, Aureus, I don't believe he plans to harvest me, so I think we're safe on that point.
No, I don't believe he needs anything from you, my friend. That's why he's so willing to give.
Aye,
And it seems that you are willing to kind of carry that idea forward.
Just gotta pass the good word of Aureus and Bahamut to the masses. That's the plan. I'm real bad at this. I'm not the whole, I don't got the preachy part down yet.
Sometimes you don't need to have the words. It's more about your actions, my friend. So just keep acting in good faith and with a good heart, good intentions, trying to do the right thing by making sure that you are actually indeed being helpful to those that you are helping or intending to.
Even if they don't appreciate being helped.
Mm,
Like Darius.
keep a distant eye, I guess. Be there for
Fake
when
it till you make it.
he falls, so that you may catch him. That's really what you need to do for those types of folk.
Yeah. I don't plan on abandoning him, so I think we'll be able to help him out. Just
He'll come
kind
around
of feels a
time.
bit strange that dreams are one thing, but actually getting injured from dreams that's a whole other layer of something going on.
Yes. There's a lot of deep tragedy surrounding it. Otherwise, I would not have been able to tap into it in a sense. Shall we go and see what the rest of everybody else is up to?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Ruby's cooking.
Did you rearrange the kitchen again?
Oh yeah. Well, unarranged anyway. Disorganized chaos. Organized chaos. However, it does smell like chicken noodle soup. Because it's, cold and that makes people warm.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds delicious.
I made some the other night.
Wish I could have some.
From to Virginia.
Yeah.
So how many temp HP is that?
You don't get much from Chef, unfortunately. It kind of tapers off after a certain point. I think 5 my current level?
Because doesn't it just cap at your proficiency bonus?
Yeah. At level 4, it's like, this is really nice, but I have 30 HP. At level 12, and I have 100 and some change.
Yeah.
Who the fuck has 100 and some change? Other than you bloody...
Most of the party now.
Most of the party, yeah.
Most of the party now.
You
Lambert.
don't?
I'm sitting here at 83.
It's only because you've only got one. How
You have a
many
D8
levels
hit die
paladin
with
you got?
a con score of 1.
Warlock 6.
Both of those are D8 D10. You should have some pretty decent HP.
83.
Your old average on the warlocks, and then it's slowly made up by the paladin. Yeah, it works about right.
What's your con score?
+1.
No, there's the kicker.
That's why. Yeah, but I'm gonna double check. You were what? Paladin 6.
Yeah, pal 6, warlock 6.
No tough feat.
Nope. Con 1. It's about right. Anyway.
85 is the average.
Yeah.
How am I below average? I thought we went with averages if we went below average.
Look, Lambert, you know how you roll.
Yeah, but I was expecting to be a little bit above average, because when we get average, don't we take the average?
Yeah, your average is 85.
I'm at 83.
Maybe you misaveraged somewhere.
I think probably. It's my bad rolls and my bad math.
Welcome to the world of dyspraxia.
Anyway. Gonna be there.
But anyway, okay, so you guys, I'm gonna give you the benefits of a long rest.
Thank you.
Is there?
Well, hopefully Breton's back.
Would we, after we kind of found out what the party was doing, James would have gone and tried to find somebody who could perform scrying.
Oh, okay.
Zedaar can.
Zedaar can.
Yeah.
He's not
That
here.
involves, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm here, guys. I'm
Oh,
here.
welcome back.
Okay.
Welcome back.
No, I figured that since we were starting with where we left off with Darius, I had 2 minutes to grab breakfast before you jumped immediately on me.
Sorry,
We're
but
gonna
it's
start
so,
with you, actually. and
Yeah,
then we have to
it's all good. It's all
You're
good.
You're good.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I'll go back. Breton, was there anything that you wanted to do with the rest of your day in terms of the setting up of your order? Because I know you were preparing some things.
He's done some of the grunt work already, and since we're kind of moving time along in there, Breton is not on the ship. Breton has taken an axe, and he has left the ship, and he is basically just moving out to collect. I know this is compared to where we were before with the Order of the Purifying Flame. He's collecting fire. Or he's collecting firewood.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Totally fine. Okay, James, so you can have gone and found Zedaar if you need to.
Okay. Yeah, no, well, James was kind of hired on and joined the Skyfire for a specific purpose, and so he kind of just wants to see see kind of where things are going with that end of things, and if, I guess where Gourd is, basically. If he's made it to the Underdark, or if he's still on a ship, or if he's not been turned over to Valmir's mom, or that sort of thing. And with Zedaar being here and having that connection, that'd be great to see if we could get a glimpse at that.
Okay.
So where would I find Zedaar at the moment?
Hard to say. Last Zedaar he was talking to Valmir. Like I said, time moved ahead of that. I didn't really check in with him. He might be in his old room praying.
Would you have said to Valmir what you were doing? Because we were just there and said we were going to go find the others.
Sure, yeah,
I'd have tagged along then.
absolutely, yeah. Then you'd hear us knocking. Excuse me, Zedaar. It's Valmir and James.
Yes? What is it?
Do you have a moment of time to maybe cast a spell, do a little bit of scrying on one of your old friends?
I would have more time than that, though there might be other complications.
Oh? Something we could work around?
Zedaar will just open the door and step back. Scrying is, it is a spell, of course, that is well within my reason. What I don't have is one of a unique focus that is required for it.
Ah,
Scrying is a very costly art.
What is it that you require?
The forms have different shapes taken. I'm pretty sure of all the things Zedaar's collected, he's never collected the scrying focus. It can be anything of, let me double check it in my notes here, because it's in here somewhere. There you are. Crystal ball, silver mirror, a font of holy water, all worth about 1,000 gold pieces.
are these usable or consumed?
No, it just needs something that the magic needs to channel through. Something that you can get a visual perspective on.
Oh, something to act as the lens, sort of.
Yes. But in order to manage the magic of the spell properly, it does have to be of a certain quality.
Ah, it's got in. Okay, gotcha. Well, maybe we can go see if the, one of the holy orders here has something we might be able to borrow. Or, I don't know, pay a rental fee for? Hold on to for a short time?
You do, as a note, you do have some pretty big focusing lenses. Might do the trick.
You know what? I just had an idea.
Oh, what is that idea?
Would a enchanted lens work? Like the ones that we have on the spyglass? Maybe if we have one of the lenses that are tuned to divination? Would that function, you think? Would you like to give it a shot?
I suppose the least I could do is give it a shot.
I mean,
The worst thing that happens is it doesn't properly attune with Bahamut, or... Actually, I guess that's the best case scenario. A worst case scenario is that whatever we're trying to scry on ends up scrying on us.
I think that
Well,
would be
then
fine.
let's take this lens to a area that we don't mind being seen.
I'll run to Zep's workshop, which I assume is where the lenses and stuff still are.
Yeah.
Do I remember what color responded?
It's written
to
down
each?
somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know if it's written down by me though.
I think it's in our notes.
I would assume divination is yellow. Is there a yellow lens?
There is a yellow lens.
Because we winging it. I'm taking the yellow one.
Okay. Grab the yellow lens.
Bring the lens back. I think this is the divination one.
You think? Did you not ask Zep?
Zep's currently in the city building stuff.
Yeah, he's a little indisposed.
So Zedaar's going to cast Sending to Zep. And he is going to confirm, Zep, we are looking for something to use scrying. Do we have permission to use your magic lenses? Which color is right? I believe that's less than 25 words.
Yeah. If you take the yellow lens, that would be one attuned to divination.
Zedaar will nod at Zep. Good, I have obtained permission and you managed to grab the right one. Excellent.
I told you it was the divination one.
Yes, but you did not ask permission to use his things.
It's not his things per se. It's the part.
Was it in his workshop?
Yeah.
That's
So
what I'll
was
just
I.
look at you.
Was I his things when I entered the workshop?
No, Valmir, that is semantics, so we know Legonzong does not support slavery.
It is what it is. Anyway, let's
I do not want to get into a debate with you.
Yeah, I guess
carry on.
Zedaar will, once you tell him it's about Gourd, Zedaar will probably think, I'm sure whatever we do will find. We do not need to go too far. We probably do not want to remove the lens from the ship, so we can honestly just do it here. As Zedaar will just lay out this lens, so basically what it counts for what his old bed was. And he will take,
would you prefer to go down? Isn't there a shrine? Don't you have a little,
the shrine it's next to his bed.
Oh, okay.
Unless they moved it.
The one that, oh yeah, that's true. It's true.
No, it's literally next to his bed.
Yep.
It was installed in his bedroom.
just a point of note. While you weren't here, Zedaar Valmai has been visiting it.
I imagine a lot of people on the ship have been visiting it.
Yeah, you now see
Considering the
actually
conversion
Zedaar,
that's going on.
there's a group of like cushions surrounding it.
The wood is slightly more polished and smooth in two little areas just in front of it where people have been kneeling there.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
All right, so
Okay.
Zedaar is going to take 10 minutes, and he will, after changing spells, he will cast Scrying.
Okay. And you're trying to scry on Gourd, correct?
I believe that was the request that was made of him.
Okay. Zedaar, you look into the lens and your eyesight focuses down into it, and it almost like horse blinders as the rest of the world around you begins to sort of haze as you look into the mirror and the mirror looks back. And in the mirror you see an individual. Zedaar's met Gourd, yeah? Yeah, just double.
Of course, he met Gourd. They were
just-
really good friends for a while.
Yeah, double checking. The party context is all over the place.
Yeah.
You see an individual just in your vision. They are of Fey ancestry. And they are kind of sat at your feet. If kind of sat at the feet of a tree. They seem to be writing in a journal. Give me a quick perception check.
Either we were lied to about a lot of things, or I'm seeing into Gourd's memories. 21.
21. It takes you a moment, and then you realize that you are not focused on this individual. And the fact you're focusing for a while, and you see that the individual writing sort of reaches out to grab something, you seem, and they go out of like your vision sphere, and that sort of outward haze like encompasses half their body, so they're not the focus of the image. In fact, you stay fixated towards the tree. And with your keen eyesight, you do notice like warped in the wood what seems to be the carving of a lion's head. The surroundings of this tree seem to be in a windswept field. And you also get the faint sound of wagons, carts going along a road.
Time of day is it in the Eladrin Empire?
It will depend on which part, but what time of day are you guys doing this right now?
That is the important question.
Yeah, from
would've
there I
been
can convert.
Probably midday-ish, because that was around the time Darius got shanked, dream shanked.
He got shanked in his sleep, so.
He was cleaning a ballista.
He was cleaning.
No, yeah, he was cleaning a ballista.
Yeah.
He normally gets shanked in his sleep.
Yeah.
You got sleep shanked.
So I'd say it's about midday, I think it was.
Okay. Then it looks to be like it looks to be like late afternoon, early evening.
All right. Zedaar was basically looking for a long shot of if he could recognize any easy way to know where this exactly was for later. Like, obviously, you can't check star lines. You can't use stars to navigate, probably because the divination wouldn't allow it. But he'll keep a real good look at this field and try and remember it specifically.
Okay.
The way it sticks out.
Give me another perception check then.
$28.
What languages does the Tsar speak?
What languages do Zedaar speak?
More precisely, read.
Which languages does he read? Well, he reads all the languages he speaks because he's a somewhat intelligent individual. He does not speak Elvish, Sylvan, Gnomish. Basically, I don't think he would speak any of the prime languages of the Eladrin Empire. He speaks Primordial, Celestial, Common, Draconic, Orc.
With scrying, are the people in the room able to see anything at all?
If they have detect invisibility, yes.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't actually put an image in the room for other people to look at. That's what Valmir was getting at. Only Zedaar can see what he's seeing.
Yeah, the lens looks blank to us.
Oh yeah.
It's a focusing conduit. Zedaar can look at this for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He will, while still in the room and watching it, he will just make the gesture of like using his hand and just start making like writing gestures.
Oh.
Like,
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, he can just talk. I need paper.
I'll grab paper and
stuff.
quill. I have those.
He'll do his best to scribble he'll do his best to scribble whatever it is here. Now, granted, he doesn't have the training of writing down the alphabet, but I would consider an individual who can write down 6 different languages and can make a close approximation of what he's looking at here.
Absolutely. Make a sleight of hand check.
This is where my rolls decide to give out, isn't it?
I would say at advantage because of your base
20.
intelligence. Okay.
Flat 20, yeah.
Do you want to re-roll just in case you get the natty?
Sure, let's see if I go from a 20 to a 21. I didn't. It's a 20.
Okay. Valmir, you can read Elvish.
Yep.
You see what seems to be a diary entry being slowly written out. You notice that because and you know that this is from somewhere within the Eladrin Empire because of the way that it's dated on the right. They use a different calendar. And it's dated accordingly. But the passage basically reads, it tells of the story of, well, not the story, of the journeying of presumably the writer, who seems to be a young noble, and they're currently en route to the front, and they're talking about how this this particular tree is set about in a nice field with a hill overlooking the main King's Road as they progress towards the capital. And he also writes that it's going to be a shame because this tree is due to be uprooted once more and moved to a private collection soon. But he thinks the particular sculpting within this tree makes for a really pleasant place to sit. And there is something about its aura that just feels good. And he thinks it's going to bring him luck on his coming trials as he maneuvers towards the war.
I will read all that out loud.
Well, it seems like Gourd is doing well.
Due to be uprooted could be that he's moving to Kensek.
That'd be good.
Technically, it might be easier to help him in the... Well, actually, I guess that's optimistic to say it'd be easier to help him in a private collection, but if it is, in fact, the... now I'm getting into the issues, like, I don't know if this was the time Zedaar was... I think this was... Yeah, because Zedaar wasn't around when Gourd disappeared, so he was not around for the planning of rescuing him.
Yeah.
So actually, he would probably say, it might be harder to rescue him from a private collection than it would be from public.
Well, the private collection that he's going to is my my mother's place. I think. I wrote to her and asked her to make a request for him. I thought it might be a little easier to get him back. Or, I don't know. I don't know even if in hindsight that makes sense. But, you know, the King's Road in the Eladrin Empire didn't seem like an overly realistic target for a rescue mission. At least not while the war's going on.
Maybe. But I would argue that being out in the open like this, you'd be surprised how little attention that draws.
There was also a case we didn't know where he was going to get planted. It could have been anywhere along the road. That's it.
I have seen him now, and I still don't know where he's planted.
There you go. That's the issue. We would never be able to find him.
How long is the King's Road?
It spans the entire width of the Eladrin Empire, pretty much from their capital down to, well, there's two like branching forks. There's one that goes up to the Winter Palace, and there's one that goes to like the peninsula in which Kensek's in.
Okay.
Several hundred kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll make it right one way or the other.
I'm just glad that it seems like he's going where you intended.
Hopefully. I know my mother got the message. That was part of the thing that I paid for, but I never got any message back.
Do you think it would be kind of difficult to get a message back to us?
No. No. Definitely not. Kensek has its own sorceress, my auntie, and a sorceress in training, my sister. There are plenty of magic users in and around Kensek that will be able to send messages.
Yes, but what if Your mother doesn't want to let anybody else know that she's correspondence with you. What if she tried to respond by a more traditional means? It'd kind of be hard to hit us with a letter.
She's just waiting until she actually has the tree.
That could be it too.
No point in sending messages and getting your hopes up before anything is set in stone.
She has magic herself, but I don't know to what extent.
I mean, if I was trying to rescue Gourd, I wouldn't send you all a message that I had rescued Gourd until I rescued Gourd, not when I was still trying to pry the tree out of the ground.
That's fair. Gourd has arrived is a message maybe that we'll receive. Unlikely, but maybe.
If only you get notifications when your packages arrived. Be quite handy.
It is indeed what I got when my message arrived to her, but I don't know if it works with trees.
Is this the D&D equivalent of your mother left you on red?
Yeah, no, basically.
Well, that was successful, I believe.
She might also still not be too happy with me because I sort of made her a widow.
Isn't that, not necessarily a bad thing?
No, I'm not talking about Arakaz, her drow husband.
Oh, did she have actual feelings for him? I've heard that that type of relationship between the matriarchal ladies of the drow and their male partners are not always the best.
I don't know. It's hard to say, really. My mother, she wasn't like most drow matriarchs that I had met. I mean, she showed me affection.
That's a rare quality. So I've heard.
Alright, I'm stuck on one thing here, Valmir. You're not sure if your mother is happy with you? You're not sure if Gourd being with her would even be safe?
I feel like she wouldn't. She's not. So when I left, it was because I killed my father-in-law. And I have this feeling that she understands why I had to do that. But also I had to leave because, there's rules and laws and she would have to punish me for that. I mean, I didn't want to stick around to find out. But I feel like she knew what was going on. She knew he was awful to me. And I feel like she would understand that why I did that. I just don't think she's like super happy about it.
Well, this situation might be more complicated than originally planned, but Gourd's alive and he is currently doing well. So that is what we can take from this moment.
He's just sticking around.
Putting out good vibes, apparently.
I would love to know that he is okay. All right, I'm done.
So,
Well, shall we go get some chicken soup?
I would love that.
so. That rejigger done. Well, we've had a long rest. What would you guys like to tackle today? There's a few things on the list, so...
Do you want to go see if we can, just while we've got things in flux? Not a big fan of the pyre and burning people alive. Just kind of want to put that to rest. Make sure that doesn't happen. Kind of feel like that's should be on the list. I don't know who's
No.
vibe of burning people to death. It's not the vibe that I sit nicely with.
The best way to stop that is to have Breton ascend to the throne.
How long is that going to take?
I don't know. How long's bureaucracy usually take?
So it's good,
Yes.
it's a good while. Like, what we're saying is that's going to take a while.
Depends on how they receive these letters. Nor do I think many of them will accept it willingly.
Again, as it would be as a representative of not of Hall's faith, which means that the Reunion bishops may not, in fact, acknowledge it at all. So, if anything, it would be a.
We have a direct message from the Knight Bishop of the Rien.
Yes, for them to make a decision. It does not mean they have to accept the decision the Not-Athalians made.
Two authority figures from both sides of the Long Reach, with their respective religions. We have some backing.
So, admittedly, that letter probably should have been delivered sooner, just to make sure that they knew at the time limit started.
Well, let's go.
Just give me a moment to finish getting dressed.
Need help?
Yeah, Valmir, no, sorry, not Valmir, Breton was like chopping wood this morning, so he's probably like he's not wearing his armor, he's wearing like not much heavier clothes, but just like comfortable like working clothes, and he's gonna like just change up for a moment.
I do have a new outfit I was working on.
Okay.
Hopefully Soul has not ruined it.
So, you guys are going into the city?
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. All of you going?
All of us, together,
Cool.
like a family.
Family.
I was going full Fast and Furious with it. I'm glad someone picked up on that.
You don't give up on family.
Oh, what is it with... No, that was going to be a very bad joke. Oh,
not true. I killed mine.
I know, I just stopped myself so bad.
Well, this
I helped.
Ooh, I'm
don't
gonna
give up
admit,
on family. Like, four out of the 7 of us have done fratricide or are contemplating it at the
Yeah,
very least.
I was gonna say at this point we're at
I'm on
2.
fratricide number 2.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
letting you
it's
guys
quickly
know,
becoming-
but this is not going as a public because this is a dark fucking joke.
Sure.
kind of jokes.
So yeah, so far we've got Lord Sunderstar, we've got both technically free campaign Valmir's dad, and then Valmir's demon or devil daddy. And who's next? Is it going to be Father Reynard? Is he gonna get one in the gut? We'll see.
Find out next week. Anyway, okay, so you all progress towards the cathedral, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. As you progress through the town, it all seems a little bit more lively. In fact, there's a lot more flow in the streets. And you actually notice the closer you get, the checkpoint that you set up has travel in between going on. quite a bit. It's still as destroyed and decrepit, and there's still, you know, soup kitchens and everything, but it's a little less bleak, to use, I think is an accurate term. There seems to be a bit more organization at the very least. And there's been a lot of, the closer you get to the cathedral, there's been a lot more and more clearing. And in fact, you see Zep building what seems to be like, he's cleared an area of what used to be probably like a large general store. And he's used like the remaining bits of the structure that survived and stuff. And he's building what seemed to be like barrack houses, like a big sort of bed house. Essentially, which is, it seems to be like his main, he's building a big like bed house, and essentially you see just him like recycling beds out of the part of the cathedral to become a workshop. And he's creating essentially a boarding house for workers and rewarding people who help work the construction effort with bed and food and stuff. And essentially it's got now this essentially like craftsman's lodge built at the far side of the square.
Nope, it checks out, Midge. Zep has graduated from pet projects to literally just building things. Building buildings.
Yeah. Rebuilding.
Soon he's going to be a city architect, and that's going to be how he builds his things.
I mean, this is as blank this is as big blank a canvas as he's ever going to get, so...
Just think about it. When we come back, this it'll be like, you know, organized with grids and everything will be perfect and ordered.
Do we want to get a look at this, the update on those who have been going through the tunnel? Do we want to see if the lens has caught anything?
It's a good idea. I'd forgotten all about that.
Ruby has no idea what you're talking about, so she'll just shrug.
Breton will just lean over and whisper into her ear and catch her up.
Okay. It is more important. We are on a timeline for this, because this is dated a week from delivery, and it's been 2 days since I got back.
Well, if we find one of the people who has gone through, it's an extreme long shot, I know, but if there's anybody who has gone through that has been recognized as somebody who might be a part of these proceedings, we might want to know that.
Very well. I'm with you.
Okay. As you approach the checkpoint, you see who's on shift right now? Let me see. It's Faston. You see Faston sat at the sort of like almost lifeguard tower that's been built next to the edges with the lens looking above it, kind of just with a pad notating things.
What's probably fascinating is it's gonna be more like a fire watchtower.
He doesn't really fit it. He's kind of perched halfway up the ladder.
I'm saying, like, for those of you not familiar with fire watchtowers, that's how we watch for fires in the early ages here in the U.S. For the grand scale of wars we have, and they're basically just cabins, 50 feet in the air on a.
I mean, you go to certain places on the like west coast, aren't they just literally like 2x2 things at the top of like a redwood, where they've cut the top of the redwood and it's like a 2x2 thing that you can climb up with a barely even a seat up there? I'm pretty sure, like the original ones.
I have not seen that. I have. Either way.
But yes. Whoa. How are things going?
Hello, Dustin. We're just here to see how everything is going at the checkpoint, see if there's any reports that you need to make.
We've sent one individual to the allocated just waiting for some people to pass meeting point, and Root tears off the description. They were heavily wounded, but also some of the one of the night orders passed through. And we got a flag on one of their members.
Which order?
Let me see. Light yellow tunics. Golden armor.
Would that ring a bell to Breton?
Quite possibly. Hilt of a sword on their tabards.
I was gonna say that's not the Purifying Flame order. That's the one.
Nope.
That's the order of the guy that we met when we first came here. If I look back into my notes, because there are notes about this, was that the order of the Knight of the Shattered Sword? Is that the right one?
Shattered swords were a blue tunic, I think.
Then I don't recognize this one off the top of my head.
I think there's two very similar armor details, so I think you're right that it's very similar, but no, it's not those. I don't think you've actually heard the name of this one yet.
Okay.
I couldn't get a description of them because they were in full plate with a helmet.
Darius, do you know does that description ring a bell to you?
Could you say that one more time?
Darius, does the description ring a bell to you?
The description? Could you say that one more time?
So they were like a goldish, like either like hewn golden armor, light faded yellow tabards with a black sword hilt as their emblem.
Does it ring any bells?
I'd say Breton and Darius could probably roll history checks.
Where I was originally getting at, but we we wound up where we were.
If it's Nardathelian, would Ruby also have an idea?
It's not Nardathelian, that's...
Then no.
13.
18 will probably get it. It's they're a group known as the God Swords. Or God Swords.
Doesn't tell us more about that, but it does let us know. Okay. Alright, the God Swords. I suppose we should look into that after we finish with our meeting with the bishops.
Okay. Very well, I'll keep on here.
Breton will give Fasten a nod and turn back. Well, I think that's... I appreciate you all humoring me. I just wanted to see what the progress on this had been, considering all the work that was put into it. And I guess we make our way to the meeting proper.
Okay.
The cathedral.
Okay. So, you enter the cathedral, and it's a very similar scenario as to what you've seen before. There's a line of guards blocking off one of the main corridors, but there are other like chambers and antechambers that have turned into various both housing or areas of organization. Like I said, the Moradin room has become like a sorting of various material that's being pulled from the wreckage and like categorized and allocated and resent to other places. There's the large hospital, but I take it you guys are beelining for the line of guards. Okay, you do so. How do you approach?
She will hand Breton the notes.
Okay.
Show.
Yeah. Then I guess Breton is the one that approaches. Guards, I have 2 notes of correspondence of importance that must be delivered. In fact, I think they must be passed around because everybody's going to want to see these. And he will just hand them out, which I have to assume both of them have official seals on them, so...
Oh, yes.
Yes, they will have. The guards into it. One of them like leans in and goes, oh, that's the symbol of the Arch Knight. Yeah, you best come through. Follow me. Let them pass, boys.
Take the notes back and continue to follow.
Okay. This guard, so you see again the corridor, because actually you've been through here, Breton, if you recall. Again,
we were looking for the pieces of the
there's guards towards the very end, but you don't head towards the tower staircase that you went up, and instead you take a right, and you take like a slow recline of steps down on a subtle curve into like a slightly sunken chamber which opens into what remains of the main cathedral room. In the center you see, which it's kind of like embossed out of what you assume will actually be the staircase up to the tower, and it's like, so imagine like there's a wall here, the staircase would go up and round, and then in the wall that would be protecting the staircase there is like a massively carved sort of, think Mount Rushmore, but reliquary into the like the stone that formates the staircase up the tower. It is, you see a large angelic figure, full knight's armor, battle dress, with a broken sword aloft. It's amazing that a lot of this is still intact. Broken sword aloft. They have like a horned helmet with like stag antlers. They in their left hand they have a shield, right hand they have this broken sword blade, that, and out of the sword blade is just like a beam of light, and crunched under their foot you see like a crown. And then surrounding them are all other, like, what's it called? Reliefs of various gods and godly characters. You notice Bahamut, you notice, like, Lathander, you see Moradin, like, all the various that make up the 9 lights. And this seems to be a big mural to the Pantheon of Albe. There, and then like also light enters this chamber from like various holes in the ceiling, but also through what remains of stained glass, which creates kind of a bit of a weird light tapestry in the room. But within this room, like huddled sort of away around, some of them are sat down, some of them are chairs, seems to be a group of well-dressed, well-informed individuals. They seemingly discussing things around like it seems like a dining table that's been just dragged in. It's covered in paperwork, drinks and food, and then scattered about this chamber as well there are like knights in armor, like stationary in guard, just like picketed around the room, to not be close enough to be like surrounding the individuals as they work, but close enough that they could rush if they needed to into this space to protect them. And the guard that you're following leads you towards one of them that is the closest picketed, and unlike the other guards, they're not like holding a spear and shield. This one has what seems to be like a great maul, like that they're leaning on. And they, as the guard approaches, he says, the Grandmaster's councils are gonna want to talk to these individuals. They've got a letter from what seems to be the Archknight and possibly the King Bishop. And the individual that's like leaning on the great maul just kind of looks up and goes, and like brows furrow instantly and is like, both? Turns around. My lords and ladies, fellow Grandmasters, shut up a minute. You see like the collection of like 9 individuals who are arguing, some who are drinking, just now full attention to this individual with the great maul. Seems we have some guests of import. and he looks towards you. You have some correspondence for us?
Yes. From what I've been led to believe, it is going to be of utmost importance in making a decision and finally getting things on track here.
The man leaning on the great, well, hasn't like, just kind of, about fucking time. And like, you, like, it, this person seems to be so nonplussed with the situation. Like, clearly, also, he seems to be in the same adornment as a lot of the people guarding this chamber. And it seems like that he couldn't give two shits about all the squabbling that's been going on behind him, probably for weeks. And he's just like, okay, thank you. And the others seem far more... critical's the wrong word, but... you know, they've got that vibe of... there's now daggers, like, towards you, like, emotionally and in his back. But his back is just, like, smug smile. And they can sense it even through from behind his head kind of thing.
Like
also, as a, you know, this guy has, like, sort of one of those Guy Fawkes beards. But it's jet grey. And then he's got, like, that, who's the Scottish comedian? Billy Connolly hair. Billy Connolly hair at like, yeah, Billy Connolly hair. There's also it's kind of graying, but looks to be somewhat blonde in places. And then like a little bit of braiding towards the top. And then yeah, he's got this great hammer, and then the rest of his plating seems to be like of a silvery blue tint.
Yes. Greetings to you, bishops, cardinals, other esteemed members of your respective churches. We have here 2 letters. One, I'm led to believe, is from the King Bishop of Albe. The other is from the Archknight in the capital of Nardathel. Both of these letters, I expect each of you to read over and get an understanding of the position that they are pressing upon you. And Breton will just take the letters and he will hand, basically, I guess the way they're sitting at the table, he'll hand one to his left and one to his right.
Mm-hmm.
And basically just give them a moment to like kind of peruse it and look amongst themselves so they understand the situation they're now in.
Okay. The first one to be handed the one for the Pantheon of Albe, like looks like from the King Bishop, looks at it and then hands it across the table directly to another individual who is like more intent on it, and they don't even open it, and they're kind of more interested in you. In fact, all of you that are here, make a perception check, if you will, at the probably 9 or so individuals around this table currently, and the many other guards posted around the room that you slowly begin to spot more and more of.
9.
Okay.
Breton got a 10, Zedaar got an 18.
Okay.
14 from Ruby.
James 18.
Okay.
7.
Okay. So Zedaar and James definitely notice that, like, as they look around, there's like various guards that initially you didn't see when you entered the room. Like there's like various like walkways and parapets that would have been further parts of the cathedral, but because where things are broken away, it's almost like battlements around, and you actually notice that there are people aloft with crossbows, etc. And all of the ones in this chamber seem to be of the same order as the guy who started talking to you with the great hammer.
Mm-hmm. Do we recognize do we know what order his is? What tabard is he wearing?
He's not wearing a tabard, but his
okay.
armor color matches those of the guards. And give me a quick history check. Anyone from the Rien can give me a history check on that order.
That was a 10 for his.
So Darius, that would be you as well.
I'm sorry, what was that?
History check on the, if you want to, on the people that seem to be guarding this location, their tabard.
18.
It's a group known as the Custodians of Ascension. Darius would recognize. They have like a silvery blue tabard and then like an open prayer hand as their symbol, but they don't wear it on the tabard. They just mark it with a sort of like beam of light. Like they have like a sun symbol on a beam of light, but their main holy symbol is like light being like shot out of a pair of hands.
Okay.
Darius would also know that they tend to be people that are they don't tend to like actively go to war when it comes to any of the great holy wars or any of the like Eladrin wars, etc. But they are very their order is dedicated to like protection of like routes and like routes of pilgrimage or temples, even ones of not their own faith. And there's actually stories of them protecting sacred trees belonging to some of the Fey religions from being burnt down by other more zealous heroistically aligned orders. They would be essentially true neutral protectors. So like, you're allowed to have faith, you can worship it, we worship this, but you're allowed to worship your own, just don't get in other people's way.
Okay.
They mainly follow the king that never was, but also have strong ties to Cathriel the Law Singer.
Okay.
Alright.
And then yes, the rest of the table seems that like who you see people that are like classically bishop looking. There's like 3 of them, and then the rest are all like paladins and knights, like very grizzled. And then the closer you look at some of the bishops under like the mitre look, you look at some of the mitres and there's like clearly that there's like an insert that this could go over like a full plate helm, and there's like a little hook where you could clearly get like chainmail on it. These are all, even those who are like purely priests, these are warriors by profession. They're like more than anything as well. Like there's the clear look of, oh yes, you're not, your sermons are with the sword rather than by the book, more so than anything. It's a very martial room. They start passing things around the table. Would any of you like to do anything as they pass these around the table and look?
Can I get a general feel for the room? Like, you said that there was a bunch of guards and stuff like that. Are they like tense or like ready to act, or do they seem kind of like they're just stand and watch?
Standing watch. They're waiting for the cue from this guy. All of them are clearly waiting for the cue from the guy with the hammer, with the Great Maul. Like but because he's kind of relaxed around you guys, they haven't reacted. But you get the impression that these guys, they look very well drilled, and they look like that kind of thing that even they're
Relaxed
waiting.
alert.
Relaxed alert, and you get the impression that this guy because this guy is so relaxed, they probably can read his body language so well that if he changed even subtly, they would change. Like, boom, like.
Okay. I'd be keeping an eye on that. I'd be keeping an eye on for that kind of switch
Sure.
to happen.
Okay.
To make sure that we're not getting put in any kind of pressure.
Sure.
Ruby is going to reach into her pocket
Okay.
and activate the Gem of Seeing.
But I don't think you mean you reach into Breton's pocket because you let us. You gave us the Gem of Seeing before you left.
It's still in my inventory. I'm sorry. Then never mind.
No, you lent it to us so we could try and find people. But if you would know Breton would have it, so you could easily just take it from him.
Well, it's attuned. That's the thing. I was going to attune to it this morning.
You're right. Breton is the one that's attuned to it. You could have just brought that up to us because we had all morning to do this.
Yeah, you
could
could have done this.
back.
So, okay. You please make a. Are you trying to do this stealthily?
It's in her pocket. It's just grabbing it. And
It's not just grabbing it though.
I have to hold it up. Yeah.
Have to hold it up, and there's a command word.
Yeah. Then she is going to do it stealthily with subtle. Like, can I subtle cast an item?
No, you can't. So please make a sleight of hand check.
Sure.
If you're trying to subtly say a command word, is that a sleight of mouth check?
15.
15.
Ventriloquism check.
Give me a whisper check.
All these security guards are just gonna be dogpiling.
Not a great first meeting if it's supposed to way it could go.
Yeah, they're just gonna see you doing that. They're just gonna be like, gun! Just dogpile you.
So, the individual, you get to like lifting it up to like enough where you'll be able to like look through it, say like subtly. So you think, and then the guy, the Billy Connolly looking guy. I'm just gonna use that as a.
Sure.
He just kind of. He shifts from leaning on the hammer to putting it directly between. And he goes, I'll let you use it, but you gotta tell me what you're doing it for.
Looking for infiltrators. Dragons can shapeshift. You're welcome to use it if you wish.
He then. I haven't got the time or the patience to attune to it. He then just gives a quick whistle, and then you notice all the guards go back to that sort of subtle ready stance. You didn't even notice them shift to a full ready, but they did. And yeah. Like you hear the scraping of crossbows as they get they balance themselves from on top of the like cracks of walls, etc.
He was this close to getting tased.
Think for yourself. This entire moment is just building into that moment to like that scene in Marvel where Black Widow's talking to the warrior woman that works under Black Panther, and it's just like that is a fight I would love to see.
Less tased, more like yeah. Yes. Okay. So yeah, you use the Gem of Seeing. Gives you true sight, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, somebody across the table. You look across the table. You see someone. Their physical self seems to expand around them and take the shape of a dragon.
With the guard.
No, it's one of the people having the discussion at the table. Currently, they are holding one of the bits of paper.
Well, she will look at Billy Connolly.
Okay.
Is it one of the bishops or one of the warrior priests?
No, they seem to be in more like battle dress, but make a perception.
What color dragon, by the way?
Doesn't tell you, does it?
Yeah, see,
It reveals their true form.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a silvered shimmer to it.
Oh. Silver.
Metallic, so that's
There are
sign.
members of the Atrian delegation that are here.
Then she'll lower it.
that's the double agent.
That would be one of the big that would be a twist right there. That's the twist. The silver dragons are evil now. They're all betraying you.
Then she will nod, lower it. Thank you.
You also notice before, just as a part of it, because you also see floating wisps around the room. Various
Like
colors and
Grind
hues.
spells or will-o-wisps?
More willow wisps.
Continual flame. Do I can identify what these are?
These seem to be things from the ethereal plane.
We're being scryed on.
Doesn't necessarily mean so, but
Can I make an Arcana check to determine what those
you
things might
may
be?
do so.
You might also remember when actually Soul was Ruby was there. Never mind.
13.
Actually, was it Ruby or was it Soul when we were meeting with the protectors of the first seal? In the it was Ruby. So you might remember that when they went down there, Breton had seen invisibility up and noted that there were like spiritual protectors in some of their religious locations, just floating about.
And Soul would not have been there. I don't think Soul went with you guys to the crypt.
Ruby was there. It was Ruby.
Oh,
Because
then
it was
yes,
right
never
before
mind.
Ruby teleported, right?
Yeah, because this is Ruby. So yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she changed back.
It seems to be like, yes, there's like these foggy spiritual sort of orbs. They don't seem to match that of like, you know, the eye that you see when you're being scryed upon. Or it's not like an astral projection. It seems to be these are floating around the chamber. Denizens of another plane, possibly, or some sort of protector.
She'll just wait.
Okay.
That one is a dragon. She will point to the one, but it's silver. Adrian, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the delegation, they've come to interrogate the prisoners. The other two are actually with the prisoners right now.
No, I don't suppose once we're all settled up here, assuming that there's no further issues we have, we'd love to have a talk with them ourselves.
It might be able to be arranged. It'll depend on the people here. I have no objection. I don't object to much, though, to be fair.
You'd be a bad lawyer.
That's why I'm in this line of work. I'm very good at smashing the heads of two idiots together.
I really could have used you back home.
Where is my dice?
Flirting with him. She's not being hostile or mean.
No. It's just I'm trying to decide if this guy's gonna say something.
Okay.
He just smiles. So, can I offer you a drink at all, or anything of the sort?
Not fine. Would you like some of this? She'll hold up a cup of coffee or a mug of coffee. Fresh in the ship.
You'll take some coffee.
Coffee. He also gets some temporary HP.
Oh well, that's a good cup of beans. Oh, thank you.
It's all
Hands
about
you
the
back
percolation.
I'll pretend I know what that work means. So you now notice that there's a lot of like discussions being had over the bits of paper. No one has really acknowledged any of you outside of this guy. And now there's people like fully reading various things, and then you just see an individual with like really dark, like almost black hair, short beard, tied back, not greasy, but like waxed back hair, brilliant sort of plate armor, the sword at the side of the desk, reading it with a goblet of wine. They're reading it. Who on earth is Breton Montilier?
Present.
I don't fucking know you.
I don't know you either, but look at where we are.
And he just puts down his drink, brushes off his hands, and just walks off. Oh, I'm guessing the contents of that letter's pretty good then.
Ruby will lean into Breton. Imagine working your entire life to solidify your position, endeavoring everything you could possibly hand, and then somebody from nowhere hands you a letter and says, "I'm in charge," and it's got the sigil of literally the order of your religion. Oh, kicking the junk. Come on, you have to at least appreciate that, Breton.
You don't do anything half-assed.
I don't. I told you it was a good plan, Zedaar.
Zedaar is just watching this, like just waiting to see if this goes well or not.
Oh, by the way, that one's a silver dragon from Atria if you want to say hi.
Actually, Zedaar, roll me a perception check.
Okay. 11.
You and me are gonna fight.
The individual across from the table, you actually recognize the individual across the table. They are, in fact, a silver dragon from Atria that you have seen once in passing, not actually ever spoken to, but they are actually a patron of the temple at which you trained at. They are like one of the leading donators.
This Ruby does that. Zedaar just nods his head. It's like, yes, I am aware.
Looks absolutely proud of herself right now.
I'm not even going to make an attempt at pronouncing that, and I love pronouncing complicated words.
You will. Don't lie to everybody.
Celsus Gatelicus.
Yeah, the last name was not. The last name was the problem. The first name I was like, yeah, I can pronounce the first name. The last one, I don't know where to begin, what tone to take.
I think it would Gate Alicus. Gatalicus? Gatalicus, I think?
I don't know if it was a soft G, if it was a...
Well, yeah, it's the AE.
Gatalicus,
I think it's
fine,
Gate.
yeah.
We'll make it Gate.
Gatalicus, it's fine.
Anyway. But, yeah, there are all these discussions. There's now people like starting to like finish reading the letter, just and then start having their own conversations as this letter gets passed around, disseminated.
I believe the important thing to impress upon you all is that the situation in the country has grown to be untenable. More direction is needed, and you all need to finally settle into positions and figure out who needs to be in charge. The city has managed without you so far, but for the proper rebuilding and reorganization to start, someone needs to be at the head.
an individual in sort of like bronze-looking clothing, armor, pipes up and goes, "Oh, I think we're all in agreement there. It would just be, you know, choosing whom. According to this letter, there's a new candidate for some of the parties here, if they're willing to accept it, but, frankly, sir, I do trust you are a knight of noble stature. And from what I can tell, you seem to be the group of people that helped reconnect the city to parts of it which was cut off. And I do thank you for that. But frankly, my vote isn't going to come completely and utterly freely. I think a lot of people around this table, and I even agree, even though I don't agree with all of them, we're all more inclined to go with someone that has at least lived and served this city for a while, so I understand what the Archknight wants. But I also understand the Archknight has not been to this city since they were a teenager. So for me, it will take slightly more than a letter of good faith to sell me your vote. But I am also, unlike some around this table, willing to admit that if a candidate shows themselves, I am more than willing to be swayed. So tell me, Breton, what would you do should you rise to the head of this city? What would be your first act?
Breton kind of stops and considers for a moment. This is, of all the things that he's thought about in the time that this has been made away to him, like, he hadn't really thought about, like, if he actually had to make, like, ruling decisions for the city, what he would do, because Breton is not a ruler by any means or a stretch of the imagination. So he will say, the obvious choice seems to be the bureaucracy that has come about of the loss of leadership in the city has made it impossible for any proper decisions to be made for proper rebuilding efforts. The city's in ruins, and what real steps have been taken by any point on this council to help it? You're all so tied up in what you're allowed and not allowed to do because each of you need to make a decision about who should be in charge that, well, if you allow me to be quite frank, the actual important decisions of helping people aren't being addressed. People need homes, people need food, people need shelter. And while it's being managed at the moment, it could be much better.
Can I assist?
I don't know if that was Ruby asking Brett.
Ruby asking, or may I also provide my insight?
Seems we're a little devolving into a forum, so why not? Whoever you are.
My name is Anrayne Sunderstar of the House of Sunderstar.
I thought you were dead.
I got better. Couldn't resist, sorry.
Go ahead, Lady Sunderstar. Why should your former knight retainer turned Grandmaster be in charge, and what will you do to help?
I don't think what you want to hear are the explanation of our great deeds. I'm sure you've heard tales of our company from here to there. And I could speak all day at length to his honor, his integrity, and his commitment to justice. We all here can do that, and they be platitudes. What matters... Lord, are there any ladies here, or is it just lords?
It's both genders.
Lords and ladies.
It's a mix of genders.
Sure.
Let's not assume.
Fine. Ladies and gentlemen, lords and ladies, what matters here is a unified direction forward. A single purpose to which this entire city can unite behind. Every single one of you, and some of you who have your own martial orders outside, are guilty of individuality. You have sought to your own ends, to your own needs, and not to the greater picture. That is why these letters have been delivered to you, and that is why Lord Montilier has been selected by the Archknight. He can provide the direction that this city needs. A unified purpose to wash away this stagnation that seems to have held you all down. Hope can come back to the city.
I understand that. I understand why that has happened exactly. But I also want to know what puts Breton ahead of, say, Folk or Elgarda, who so unceremoniously stormed off when he heard your name. Or, say, Hirolaf over there.
Because I'm not here for the prestige of the position. I'm here to make change. It is a position that is needed. Once the situation in the city prepares itself, once the situation in the city begins to improve, I would happily step down and move on, assuming that somebody else needed to take the throne. I am an outsider to this place. I am not somebody who understands it at a core level, as you have seen, but I do recognize suffering when I see it and understand that it can be better. It is not that I want to take full leadership over the city forever. I just want to ensure that the city is back on the right track.
An apolitical option. Now that does make things interesting. The individual kind of says that into like a goblet that they raise up. Well,
does it feel like he's suggested that before? And it's kind of just being smug about it in his mug.
Give me an insight check.
$11.
Could be.
Do you all know why the dragons attacked the city?
The room falls silent.
Why they're attacking?
They know? Do we know? Do they know? We know? Do we know? They know? Do we know? They know? They know?
Ixnay Seale.
She's not going to say it. She's asking, do you know why they attacked?
The room falls silent.
This is where we try to gauge the double bluff.
I see. That's unfortunate. We have been present for several of the attacks. We know why they are.
An individual in the more bishop robes stands up from their seat. You come in here with letters to usurp your friend into our leadership. You then unveil that you have been present on multiple dragon attacks.
Not during.
You're not exactly ingratiating yourselves by trying to undermine centuries and centuries of tradition and honor with an air of fragrant disregard for what we've been doing and what we've done, and basically come in here and try to say you're better than us, that you know better than us, that you want better than us. I do not see how this is of benefit to any of us. I'm sorry.
With all due respect, sir, what have you done over these past months? What have you accomplished?
We have survived, as we always do, and we are slowly rebuilding. Our codes require unanimity on leadership, and some of our leadership is without a true leader in itself. The process is ongoing.
Why Lord
That's what
Montelier
we're
suggested a
here
pro
to
tem.
resolve.
Okay. Well, then we will try to resolve. But I do not, for one, feel that it is your place to just instantaneously walk in here and group us all as failures or not as worthy as you.
We didn't do that. She'll point to the letters. They did that.
Well, before we keep tossing insults into the air, think of it this way. If you allow Breton to step up, he can be the focus for rebuilding and revitalizing this city, while the rest of you orders figure out who is the best to take his place next. Once everything is rebuilt and settled out and the dust is calmed and cleaned up, you will get your city back. Let us take the reins while you focus on figuring out who should be next. It is not an insult to your capabilities, it is more of saying, hey, we are here as a relief effort. Let us relieve you for a time being so you can come together to your senses and make a sound decision for the future of this place.
I will point out there's a very easy alternative. You don't want me to be involved in the circle? Fine. Make a decision now and choose someone other than me.
You hear like a whistle from the guy with the hammer, just like, he's got you there.
In the time we have been here, what, has it been a week? Maybe?
I think we're at like day 5 or something like
Day
that.
5,
Not quite a week yet.
In the short time we have been here, we have reconnected your city, past the destruction that has been wrought upon it, in the time that months have gone by and has not been accomplished. We have fed, clothed, and housed many of your injured, wounded, and dying, provided aid and succor to those who needed it, and relief to the parts that could not be reached. We did this unilaterally, quickly, and efficiently. If it is your city that you care so much about, and I do believe you care, then you can at least understand that our efforts thus far have been successful. Give us the authority to continue, give Breton the authority to continue, and let Zep Skyspan continue to rebuild. It'll be back on your feet in no time.
The one that was in the more bishopy robes. I thank you for the work that you've done. It is of great sacrifice, and we do appreciate it. But even then, there is an air of spite in your sentencing that makes it sound like that we have done absolutely nothing. We have set up multiple hospitals, multiple bits of relief effort. We have buried the majority of our dead. This city was a flourishing central hub of hundreds of thousands, and we are barely in the tens. I'm sorry if our own efforts have not met to your high fucking standards, but we have been trying. I hate to remind you, but there's also a fucking war on.
To make a statement about this, Bishop, we are not the ones who are criticizing your efforts. When we arrived in this city, we had no idea of the situation. The words that we parrot are what we've heard from the people. That they believe you are the ones who are reaching a point of inefficacy. They believe you are the ones who are not contributing.
And that is the frustration of the public. Sometimes it is better to be the bearer of someone's spite and protect them from what's really going on and help them in ways they can't comprehend. Sometimes the machinations of a room, as boring and long and toiling as they might be, are the way forward. And that is just a bit larger than needs to be. What? How many people are around the table? Or
No, I mean, so how many people? How many? Oh, she's asking the bishop. How many people did you say were in the city before the attack? Hundreds of thousands?
It's about 150,000.
And now?
You were the last count you were given was 9,900. Something.
Protector of the people, huh?
There seems to me one opportunity. You all are loath to give this position up to somebody you don't know. I can understand and sympathize with that. But the people need to see that the council has made a decision and are finally working in their best interest. We need somebody uniform who can be above the group to make the decisions that need to be made. Can you all not elect somebody to fill that position temporarily? Temporarily until you come to a permanent solution of your own accord. Is that an amicable compromise that we can all agree to make?
The Romans did. Elect a Caesar temporarily to be in charge during crisis emergency and hope they give it back.
The individual in the bronzed armor pipes up again and is like, well, you've got me convinced, and I'm sure you'll have others in the room convinced, but I mean, there's a lot more voting parties that will have to be involved. It's not just the people around this table right now. Heck,
I'd say
And we'll meet with them next.
one of them just stormed out after all.
I'm sure once he's heard what I've said, he'll have a changed opinion when he realizes I'm not here to officially take the position from him.
He's more likely to duel you for it, but that's my 2 cents.
Breton doesn't make any note about that.
I think it might be in our best interests to let the fires of debate cool a little bit and regain some calmer heads.
Agreed. You all may want to have a discussion without us present. I can agree to that. Instead, I'll say, would it be possible for us to meet with the prisoners that you all have been holding here? Speak with them while you all have a debate amongst yourselves. I'm asking, of course, because while the situation is not decided, you all are still of the authority, and I believe permission is the best thing to seek.
The member of the Atrian court stands up. They were here at Atria for recent dealings, and they have been marked as allies by the Atrian court. I would sponsor their ability to talk to the prisoners, as you were so gracious to allow my nation's court to also speak to them. The guy on the hammer goes, well, that's fucking fine by me. I'll take him. He swings the maul over his shoulder. Come on then. Let's get out of here before one of them shoots you with an arrow.
Apparently did not inherit my father's ability to stir the courts, Sue.
Still not the worst debate we've ever been to.
That's very true.
As you walk away, he
Didn't
says,
end in us dying, so that was good.
A debate that we were at where nobody dies is considered a dull affair.
please don't mind Grandmaster Fulric. His order's one of the oldest and the most traditional, and they now number in about 20 after losing around 11,000 in the original dragon attack.
Thousands of years of tradition wiped away by a single strike.
How much do you know of the attack that happened here?
Honestly, if it's comparative to the other dragon attacks that have happened in Lagran's Landing compound, then we're familiar with it. Infiltrators start causing chaos at first, and then out of nowhere, dragons of various colors swarm.
That happened. But it was a little more than swarming, I'd say, anyway.
Well, carry on. What would you say?
Oh, okay.
Well, the explosion that took out the Great Cathedral Tower, for one thing, was... It was powerful enough that I was stood on the East Gate, and I was knocked from the battlements. The shockwave of it.
That is quite the attack.
Out of mild curiosity, what dragon did that? I'm assuming we're walking and talking.
As far as we know, it was a device that was planted. Or
Blasting charges.
something... My father was a miner. I've seen blasting charges. That's not a blasting charge. There was this purplish hue, and it felt like that the force of magic that exuded from it itself, like, shook my brain around my skull.
Yeah.
Then you say a number of... I've seen flying creatures. I've seen eagles swarming. I've seen vultures pick apart a corpse. These dragons hit in formation, in pattern, in... There was the infiltrators, yes, and we did corner them in street fighting and deal with a lot of them, but the ones that came from the sky at the same time was numerous.
Did you happen to see one that was almost so black it was purple? Large, massive, larger than any dragon you'd ever seen.
No, nothing like that, but...
Were there any unusual colors amongst them?
That was the next question.
Was anything, any lighters. I'm sure you understand the concept of chromatic dragons. Were any of them? Did any of them
Aye.
not match the description?
Gem-colored, perhaps. Sapphires or rubies.
Crystalline in nature.
Crystalline in nature, yes.
Aye. Yeah,
So
there
they
was.
Which
It
colors?
wasn't huge, but there was a red one that gave off a shimmer every time it swooped above, like light hit it and refracted.
Like glinting.
One of the
That would probably be Zendestos. Ziandestos? Ziandestos.
one of the clerics hit it with a guiding bolt, and it displaced through it. Still hurt the fucker, but fractured the other side. And
Do you have any pieces? You said
It-
it fractured.
oh no, as in the light beam fractured.
Oh, right.
That one sadly fucking got away.
We think that dragon's name was Ziandestos. I might be mispronouncing that.
Zindistus is what I was saying.
Zendestos. It's a group of gems that we've been hunting.
We killed one of them.
We did kill one of them. Yes.
I hadn't even fucking seen a dragon before this, so
Traditionally, they don't
Well.
come in that kind of color.
I've seen a dragon, but not one that wasn't in a, fucking bathrobe or whatever they wear in Atria. Sorry, I realized it's the
Look at
Dragonborn with
Zedaar.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, Zedaar just kind of looks at him, but it's just if his lips could purse, but he doesn't have lips, so he just is looking at him. I'm sure you meant it in full respect.
I lean over to Zedaar. You get used to it.
But it also wasn't just dragons that attacked us here.
Really?
Aye.
Other than the infiltrators, there was something else?
Aye. Yeah.
What?
And that was...
But there was infantrymen, militias, like archers. It was a full siege happened.
Hmm.
It was an army.
And it came out of
Infiltration
nowhere.
out of the snow.
Out of curiosity, did they just literally appear out of nowhere, or did they march in and set up?
When the attack happened, there was a large fog that swept the city. Visibility was barely 10 feet. They could have marched in under the cover of it.
Is that something that normally happens around this time of year?
It's happened before. Snowstorms and such.
I understand during the chaos. Did anybody investigate the direction where they might have come from?
Aye, initially, yes. They came from the west, but the party that went after that direction never returned. We assumed they were killed off by stragglers. We sent people as well that chased that down, and no news. Just found broken swords in the fjords.
From what direction did their army come?
The west. They
That's
came
what
from the west.
I just said the west, yeah.
Sorry,
That would be the Cognate, no?
Could have been the Cognate. Could have been the Caliphate. Caliphate have a strong hate for us.
Wonder why. She does not say that ironically. She knows why they hate her. They hate them, excuse me.
Right, either way. Alright, this lot are here to see the prisoners. Stand aside. And with that, we're going to take our midpoint break. So use this time, grab yourself a drink, and we will be back for another half of our broadcast in 10 minutes time. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier. Whether that be from local pirate raids, neighbouring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, we stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions. A solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Dre Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope. From the brain that's rattled and riddled with madness, a radiant pustule. Writing, art, that's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can beautifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount to possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast.
Though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.
If we take this job, someone is going to get hurt. Not me, of course. I'm an effing delight. You do what you do, I'll do what I do. I'll keep the red stuff inside of you.
Buddy, we live in Night City. Just breathing can get you killed.
This sort of job? Bullets flying, people dying, gangers riding, corpos trying to take what they don't already own. Doesn't matter. For us, just another day at the office.
When the world seems bleak, you follow your heart. Take that stage without hesitation and give it everything you've got.
There's a lot more to this city than you'd think. You just gotta dive beneath the surface. People like me, we dive into the depths.
welcome back, everybody. Let us continue with our adventure. We are back. So, you are shown to a chamber that seems to be like the other half of the main cathedral. Like the main chamber that would normally be surrounding the tower area. It has been blocked off and patched up as best as it can. And chained in the center, surrounded by heavy guard of multiple orders, are 3 full-size dragons in like muzzles and chains, but the chains don't seem to be attached to the floor or anything visibly. Actually, Ruby, with the gem of seeing, you would see like ethereal arcane chains like basically covering their entire body.
And how about the guards, just out of curiosity?
I was about to ask about the gem of seeing.
All seem to be of their normal form.
Okay. She'll look to the group and nod.
What color are these dragons?
There is 1 green and 2 red.
Ooh. Adults?
1 adult, 2 young, it seems.
Who's the adult?
One of the reds.
Let's try to avoid a fight. Thank you.
I take it in the interrogations they haven't revealed much information.
Not really. They've been spewing the same old bollocks.
What bollocks?
That they have come to reclaim what was taken from them, that those who are banished will return, yada yada yada.
Yep, sounds familiar.
Those who were scorned will rise once more.
Oh, the scorned ones of them, really? This is them? I thought that was a different group.
So, they all seem to... There's a lot of rhetoric that keeps appearing with various... We've had it with criminals as well, and cults. The city is no stranger to cults. Yeah. As a holy site, it attracts all sorts. Those who are scorned is often taken as a term for anyone who doesn't fit the mainstream. Anyone that follows a faith or deity that is not accepted from the pact of the Great Summit kind of thing.
Right. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So, possibly, they might use the name Scorned Ones of them. Who knows?
Well, I believe we might be able to get some answers out of them.
Those who were banished. Is that like... He's gonna take out the topaz gem from his cloak and hold it up. Is that like Zethacress? I'm gonna try and read the dragons for not Zethacress, sorry, Xenopharius. I said Xenopharius. That's what I said, Xenopharius. Is he one of the banished that you're talking about?
Are you going up to the dragons with this, or are you just saying this over? Like, how are you saying this?
Like, I'm holding it up so the dragons can see it, and I'm saying it out loud so the dragons can hear it. But I'm not gonna like get up in the dragon's face. I ain't stupid.
give me an insight check.
Seven. It's a strong 7.
You don't know how to read dragons.
Dar does.
It's worth a try.
You don't seem to get a reaction from them, shall I say. Nor do you think they could possibly give you a reaction, considering the muzzles and chains they are under.
Could their heads even move or shake or...
You haven't seen them move at all. They're like,
Okay.
they seem to be like, have you ever seen like, they're like almost held in like a sphinx-like position?
Sure. Then she will go to the guard. Can they talk at all, or are they totally bound up?
To who led you in there, or just one of the random guards?
The one who let us in there.
You have to make a psionic link with them. It has to be, what's it called? I can't remember the spell. The mind connection thing.
Roy's telepathic bond.
Yes, we have an artifact that forces a telepathic bond between someone and the dragon.
Just one person, though.
Well, anyone who holds one of the reception stones, we then flick a switch on the collar, and it connects to them.
Oh,
we can only,
very good.
We can only do one dragon at a time. It's a complex bit of kit.
Where did you acquire all of this, like, kit to house 3 dragons? I mean, that's not something a city would just have on hand, would it?
Nope.
So it came from somewhere?
Yep.
Are you aware of where?
Yep.
Are you going to tell me?
Fuck no.
Probably the Mage's Tower that was destroyed.
Or Atria. They'd probably have this stuff ready.
But anyway, may we?
Which one do you want to talk to? I will be frank. It does take a lot of energy out of them. So you won't be able to just flick between them. So if that makes sense.
Sure. She'll look back to the group. Who's first?
I'm not sure where I would even start.
The big one might know more, but also probably be a bit more resistant. Maybe easier to coax information out of one of the young ones.
Well, I guess we can ask all 3 of them the same set of questions. Anybody who deviates. Let's start with the smallest of them. The green, I think.
Okay. Well, okay. Let me see Riley's. Okay. Well, the bond lasts for 10 minutes. Especially if we're all going to be conversing. If it was only one of us, it would last far longer, but...
We don't all need to participate. I believe only one of us needs to do the communication and then relay the information to the rest of us. I think more time for more questions is more important.
Somebody who is adept at conversing and intimidating.
So you or I then?
Well, Darius could probably do it pretty well.
I actually
one
don't have
each.
intimidation.
I have both, but Darius has
do.
Battlemaster stuff.
I do not have intimidation.
Okay.
You can. Can you roll
think I can-
Battlemaster on it?
Social checks?
I have a 9 to intimidation.
As do I.
The social checks are very limited. Let me check here. Commanding presence. I can do intimidation, but I don't. But it's unskilled, so I'm only adding a 2 to it without that. So.
I mean, you can all talk. It would just be shortening your time from an hour to 10 minutes.
About for 2 of us.
Math that I don't want to work out.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Sure. Well, Valmia, rock, paper, scissors for it? Or shoots, what's it, boulders, parchment, shears?
I think that's copywritten.
Is it really?
If it's progression or reduction, if it's 2 people if it's 1 person's an hour, then 2 people will probably drop down to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So 30 minutes would be a safe assumption.
Yeah.
We'll both do it.
Okay.
You see him go over to a large lever on the floor, hands you two stones, and just the stones you hold like glow with like a purple shimmer.
All right.
Good afternoon.
What about my situation makes you think that this is a good afternoon?
Well, that entirely depends on you.
What's your name?
Why do you care?
Common courtesy.
There's power in names. I don't feel comfortable telling you mine just yet.
As you wish. I was always told to be respectful towards dragons. So, even if you are an enemy, I shall offer you that respect. What should I address you then as, if I would not have your real name?
Bradley.
Phil.
Refer to me as my lord.
Bradley it is.
I think you're really misunderstanding. I'm not here to harm you. I'm here to help you out.
Oh.
Me and my...
If you're here to help me, unchain me.
Assuming everyone want to get out of this alive. It's quite simple, really. I represent a group of individuals who are aligned against you, but that does not mean we can't come to some sort of understanding. Yes? Surely our words can work here.
I'm listening.
Have you been fed? Are you hungry?
I have been given rudimentary slop.
Well, as it so happens, I have quite the stockpile of delicious meats back at my ship. And I'm certainly could get some arranged down here to bring you some dinner. And to your friends. Perhaps make your situation at least a little bit more tolerable.
What's in it for me?
Dinner?
Sustenance, that is.
Yeah, I did.
If I were to receive such. And you have talked to me, the others will know.
I know. They don't look like they're going anywhere, though.
Doesn't help me, though.
It can.
How?
Well, perhaps one day you might not be here and they will be. You should hear some of the threats they're making about your kind down here. Hides, shields, boots.
There's a lot of money in what you carry around on your body.
Yeah, we're trying to avoid that.
My kind have always been hunted.
And your kind have always hunted.
It is the way of life.
That it is. But what if we could be better? What if we could be something more?
What do you want? Speak plainly.
Are the guards still around us?
Yeah, you're talking telepathically, though.
Oh, telepathically? You are hunting the seals of Elendor. Okay, you are hunting the seals of Elendor, yes?
I am fighting for my freedom.
Were you not free before?
Yeah, like in the sky, roaming around, hunting whatever it is green dragons hunt in the forests.
Have you seen green dragons flying around freely?
Yes.
Yes.
Before the uprising?
Snarky.
How long ago was that attack? That was 7-8 months ago.
You saw two of your kind, two green dragons, outside of Modwin.
Yeah.
Flying away until one of them stopped flying.
Shot by an arrow.
Yeah.
You will not have seen my kind before this time.
I lived underground. It's your kind's rare down there at the best of times.
As far as you know.
That's fair. That is fair.
Point of the matter being, I think, my friend and I here, we can help you out. Make your situation tolerable and prevent you from turning into a pair of boots. All we want from it is a little bit of information. We're also trying to do this the nice way, because if we don't get what we want, those upstairs are going to get what they want the hard way. That's not me trying to intimidate you, that's a fact.
Speak plainly.
Answer the questions, and you don't get turned into very valuable bones, teeth, and scales.
Make an intimidation check.
Me or him with
him?
Oh.
He's the one that just went, I'm going to turn you, if you don't talk, I'm going to turn...
I am 22.
We're playing good cop, bad cop, I guess.
I mean, I didn't feel like I was trying to intimidate, but it's fine.
You just threatened to talk him into pieces.
I think it's we aren't. The other people will be. We're trying
the other motherfuckers.
This is psionic. There, like
sure.
That doesn't.
Because we're talking about the other people.
Yeah, we were talking about the other people.
And if you answer our questions, we can prevent them from turning you into boots.
Again.
But it's a 22 anyway.
Ask. I'll see if I'll deem it with an answer.
Was it Zethacres that put you up to attacking this city?
Zethacres is the name of our savior. We go where they guide.
And how do you receive these instructions?
How do you receive instructions?
Usually by people coming to talk to me.
Usually by people coming to talk to me.
So Zethacres is on this plane now.
Like, he comes to you specifically?
Zethacres never left.
That is
and
true. He
no,
was
not me specifically. I use the royal
Sure.
sense.
Sir. So out of mild curiosity, if you were to receive instructions, if, say, somebody came to talk to you, from where would they come? Who gives those orders, and where do they come from? Where are you all based out of?
Here, there, everywhere.
Yeah, see, that answer is really not doing it for me.
Your questions aren't really doing it for me.
Yeah, I figured you might say that. So here's how this is actually going to work out. My friends and I have already killed a number of your dragons, including one of the gems. Everything you've done so far has delayed the inevitable. You could escape that inevitability. Just tell us what we want to know.
It has been made abundantly clear that there is no way out for me. If I were to even leave, there's no way I could return. Nothing you are saying is going to help me. So nothing I am saying is going to help you.
Do the dragon attacks have anything involved with the Eladrin Empire's war on Longreach?
Curious timing, don't you think?
She will say out loud, he's not being particularly helpful.
Boots it is.
Boots it is. Or maybe a latrine.
I was gonna downgrade to slippers and you went all the way straight to fucking toilet.
Are you certain you can't change your mind?
I'm certain you can't change my mind. You haven't offered me anything remotely that I need or want.
Well, tell us what...
I offered you dinner and a chance to escape your inevitable demise as a pair of boots or a shit can.
You think
What
that
more do you want?
You think that if you let me go, I would be free?
What your own kind do to you from that point on is beyond my control. And certainly the coded messages that my Skyfire is already going to send out that will certainly be intercepted by the Scorned Ones that will already tell about your traitorship.
You... I'm done talking to you. You have nothing that you can give. I see no key in your hand. You wouldn't let me go. Nothing about anyone here that held us captive is understanding of our plight.
Well, help us understand then. Tell us why it is you do this.
You want to go home?
This is our home. We were here first.
Oh, dragons aren't known for sharing. Maybe if we're a little bit more personable, then you wouldn't have been driven out of your homes, but...
The war was fought. You lost. You were given the chance, and you refused it. You're be giving a chance now. This is a profound opportunity for you to turn it around, to change the minds of those who might see better ways.
My ancestors were driven to the corners of the earth like vermin. They hid to give me life in a shadow. I rise with my brethren to reclaim what is ours.
I just got kicked out of the game.
Same.
Oh.
And you do that.
Game's still up, so just try reconnecting.
Okay.
You try to reclaim the world by attacking random cities and slaughtering countless people instead of trying to maybe do what the metallic dragons did and work with the people that live here. They revere dragons in Atria.
Literally some as gods.
Because of you and those like you. And your actions.
Tell me, if a king tells his peasantry that those in the lands beyond are an enemy, and then he defeats those individuals. Sorry,
I think the
my
server
Wi-Fi,
is down.
yeah, my Wi-Fi just went down on my laptop for some reason.
Yep.
It just went just then. But I've still got internet on the main PC, so that's wide.
I'm gonna go get my dice in that case, but I shall return.
If a king tells his peasantry that enemies are numerous beyond his border, and then he defeats them, who is going to be loved by the peasantry? Of course, it's the king. Yes. Our distant cousins from the land called Atria are revered by its denizens. But they are just the flip of the coin.
The whole coin could have been worshipped. I'm just saying.
Tell me, if you think the whole coin could have been worshipped, show me a state that exists today without an enemy, without a war.
No such state exists.
Precisely.
And do you think that's because You never gave the chance. You never chose to try.
You chose to make every nation your enemy.
Anything for a seat back at the table.
That will never happen.
Then we will never have a deal.
Sucks to be you.
Me. Perhaps. My time is fleeting, as it is anyway. But we are ready to die. Each and every one of us.
It doesn't have to be that way.
That's a weight off my conscience.
It doesn't have to be that way.
It was made that way ever since that piece of paper decided if we were allowed to exist or not.
And do you think your abidance by that decision, to choose to fight against it instead of becoming something better,
when were we given the chance?
You have one right now. Right now.
You want me to give up everything, all of my family?
I want you to choose to live.
Don't you see I'm already dead? You might let me go, but the rest of the city won't. And then...
You'd be surprised what we are going to be capable of doing in the next few days.
Fine, if you can untangle this, we'll talk. But right now you have nothing for me but... Oh, I'm morally better.
That's twice that's been said to me today. I don't... Valmy, am I giving off the aura of moral superiority?
I think you're giving off the aura of somebody who isn't in chains, which to somebody in chains probably does feel that way.
I am trying to provide an aura of redemption. You, your friends, your kind, have made mistakes. We are in the position to give you the chance to rectify them. All we need from you is help.
No, you want information so you can slaughter and kill the rest of my people. My kind, my kin, my family. It's all you humans ever want.
He's not human. I barely qualify. And slaughtering your people has never been my goal.
You literally told me that you've killed multiple of my kind. That sounds like fucking slaughter to me.
It's not your people, though. These are individuals that have attacked us, that have paid the price for their poor choice of target. I don't know, wipe out your entire species.
I don't hate dragons any more than I hate anything. I care about Elendor.
You point to me in a history book any moment where that was the case, and not just words.
I am.
You can make it that way.
Right now.
You're offering me nothing. It's nothing but words. You don't get it.
No, I do understand. The difference, my lord, is that we have both seen the darkness of this world. And that when it looked back, you blinked.
I did no such thing. I bided my time like the rest of my people, and I took to the sword. It was what we had to do. It's what we are doing.
No. And I'm sorry.
What you're doing is ensuring your kind's extinction.
Unless we win.
You really think that's going to happen?
You really think we have another choice?
Yes.
Stay in the shadows like cornered rats?
You could have gone into the light without
No, we
attacking
couldn't.
several cities. You could have come into the light and said, hey, this whole stereotype about chromatic dragons being
We
assholes and dickheads
tried.
and evil. When
Ooh,
did you
when?
try?
Every instance of every interaction with a chromatic dragon with any humanoid species has evolved into violence because they have attacked us.
That figures. I'm guessing they... You mortal creatures do love the narratives you write down, don't you?
I think it was personal experience. I've never attacked a dragon. I have been attacked by and killed in response.
War is hell, I'm sorry.
No, hell is hell. War is not hell. At least in hell, the innocent are spared. I'm going to hang up this call, or this message. I'm going to talk to your compatriots and have similar conversations I expect will go along the same way. But I want you to understand this, my lord. We all, mortal, dragon, god alike, come to a point in our lives where there is no coming back. There is no further chance of change. The line ends. There is no more path forward. There is the choice you can make now, where it ends, or one where it goes forward. Where do you want it to end?
I want it to end with my kind returning to the light, as was snatched from us.
So be it. And she will hang up the message.
Valmir, are you disconnecting as well?
Yeah.
Okay. You both nod at the guy with the hammer, because you still haven't asked for his name. And he flips the giant switch. How'd it go?
As expected.
He's a zealot. Oh, did we lose Lake?
No, Lake's there. We lost one of the other cameras because my laptop disconnected.
Ah. He's definitely a zealot. No useful information to be gleaned. They are, however, quite dedicated to their cause.
Yeah, they're all zealots, sadly, but... Oh, my
The good news is,
PC
he...
just blue screened. That's good. That laptop is royally fucked. I'm gonna be right back. I can hear you. Just keep talking.
Okay. She'll look to the others. The good news is, he actually did give us a bit of information. There are a lot more of them. They have coordination, they have efforts, they have tactics, as was kind of explained earlier. We also know what they're looking for. And we also know that they are involved in why the Eladrin Empire is fighting. So we can only assume that there is some sort of influence upon them. That dot has been connected. We can attempt to talk to the others, but I do suspect it will be a similar conversation.
For sure.
Zedaar, if you're there.
He's muted.
No, Lake said he had to dip out early.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, Valmir, do you want to attempt to talk with the other one?
Are we going to get anything else?
Different people give different answers, but I don't think we will.
Reds are known for being a bit more angry and
prideful.
A young red and an
Valmir,
adult red.
roll me a history check. Or
I
just
assume...
no, go a nature check. Go for a nature check.
I don't remember what my nature is. I would assume nature is wisdom, right?
Yes.
Can we also ask Zedaar?
Our nature's intelligence, actually.
Intelligence is probably a flat roll then.
Right?
11.
Yeah, because it's a knowledge roll, right?
You're unsure of the nature of dragons.
Alright, cool.
Can we ask Zedaar?
You can.
Zedaar? Reds,
Was I right in saying that whole load of nonsense?
Well, yes, reds tend to be particularly angry, and green ones tend to be particularly devious and cunning.
The point being, we could probably goad this one into revealing information. Piss it off a little bit. Get it thinking.
It also raises the question on how much weight we can put on the information given to you by the other one.
We could pretend that the green gave us information.
We would need something that was an inkling of truth in order to do that.
The name of their master?
Zethagras? Could work.
Your friend here mentioned the name Zethacres.
Large, black, and angry?
Could always just open up with, so we already know. Why don't you just tell me about Zethacres?
Alright. Let's try it with the adult.
Okay. Well, alright. Goes over.
Yeah, Ruby's just kind of cracking her neck. Alright, that was fun.
Stick
To
in
the
with
gentleman with the hammer.
Big one or
Sir?
the small one?
The adult.
Sir, are they capable of communicating with each other correct right now?
No. Not unless someone accidentally gave one of them the telecommunication stones.
Nope.
Green? Valmir wouldn't know. Never mind.
And also, just to clarify, sir, they can't move, correct? At all?
Nope.
Good. Is there like I'm assuming, is there like a gate that just kind of keeps us separated from them?
Nope.
Okay, good.
You can go all the way up to them.
Sure.
What type of actions would break any of the enchantments or spells that you have cast on
Let's
them?
not think about that question.
Well, I want to make sure that we don't overstep any boundaries that we shouldn't accidentally. It's more
Right.
for staying on the side of caution.
The right amount of strength could probably break the bonds.
If dragons can't, then we don't.
Breaking any of the chains. Undoing the magic holding them.
But touching them wouldn't. Just simple interaction wouldn't cause any. Okay.
All right, let's connect to the adult. Please, thank you.
Okay.
So what do we refer to you by?
Also, good afternoon.
What do you want, mortals? Can't you see I'm dying here?
Yes, we just wanted to give you the chance to talk before that happens.
Why should I talk to you?
Because your friend agreed to.
Bit of mental stimulation before the end.
Oh, server's back up. Yay. Your friend did. Zethacrest apparently has not quite intimidated him enough.
Make a deception check.
Oh, right. I can do that in the game. Service is just back up. Damn, I wrote my dice out for everything. Deception?
Mm-hmm.
Certainly. That is a 27.
Puny fucking Sidon doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
Junicide.
We offered him a really good deal. Perhaps you'd be interested to hear about it.
Is that deal putting a blade through his fucking neck?
It can be. If you want to talk, though.
Out with it. What do you want?
Just a few questions. Very simple. We understand that the dragons are obviously trying to reclaim their place in the world and don't like the way the things are ordered. Go through that spiel again. We're more curious about where you're coming from, how many are you, who's in charge, though we have a pretty good idea of your order and chain of command at this point.
Me, I'm the leader. Look at me now.
See,
Also, you're not Zethacrest, though. We're...
Yeah, you're just a small red. I'm sorry, you're really not the big guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The red scales, real nice, very aesthetic, but it's not really made of gem, is it? We already know your leader is obsidian, right?
No, the gem one, the red gem one. That's what was that one?
He just told us. He just told us.
That's right, Zendiasos. Yes, that's him. I did say that right. That's it.
And it's a shame about what happened to Xenopharius.
Yeah. The thing is, we already really know what we want to know. We're just trying to confirm. And if some of the questions we ask and you happen to give the correct answers, maybe you'll have some, extra food at the end of this, or I don't know, maybe we'll kill that green next to you. A little bit of revenge might go well on the palate.
We are many. More than you know.
Okay. Did you put a number to that, or?
My entrapment here means nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, heard that one before. Right, I'm looking for new information. The posturing and the bloating really doesn't matter.
Well, if you know so much, why the fuck are you even here?
Well, to torment you for one, because I really do get a kick out of bossing around dragons. Because there's not a... You really can't do anything about it.
Okay. Especially when you get angry, it's so funny.
Okay. So that's with a...
That 20 strength check to break the bonds.
This entire time he's just been chilling.
That's what...
Everybody make a perception check.
Okay.
7.
I don't remember what my bonus is, so somebody have to look that up.
The
'cause
game's
I'm-
back up.
21!
I know, but it takes a while to acquire the file list again.
Oh.
I rolled a 6, so I think.
I can't look at your character.
I rolled an 11.
Okay,
Mitch
so
can.
I
Valid.
don't have any bonuses for
Valid.
perception.
strange smell begins to permeate your nose. It wasn't there before. Sulfur. Pure sulfur.
I'm gonna nudge Ruby and like make the motion of sniffing.
Oh, he's getting pissed.
Did he fart? Can I have a look at his bindings? Is anything?
Yeah, so I'm gonna hold up the gem and just check his bindings real quick.
One of like the what's it called? The chains holding down its tail looks to have like not broken, but like imagine like the rings of the chain. They're like snapped open. They've not come unhooked though.
Can the guard hear the telepathic link as well?
No, only who's holding the stones.
Okay. Velma, go tell the guard about what's happening to the link. It's breaking.
And you said that out loud?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you're saying it out loud?
Yeah, the link is breaking on his tail.
Okay.
Pretty sure the dragon speaks common.
Subtly under her breath.
3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm confused.
1, 2,
I'm
3.
These are rounds.
Four,
These are
He's
common
breaking.
rounds.
He's breaking them. He's breaking them.
2, 3, 4,
5. Shit.
6.
I don't have any
I don't know what to do.
1.
Go tell the guard.
3.
We just said it
4,
out loud.
5,
multiple times.
6.
Go
Okay.
get your people. The chains are breaking.
Okay. He runs off. 1, 2.
Ruby is going to start casting spells.
4. Okay. What spells are you casting?
Flash.
Yeah, flash him.
Okay.
Yeah, doing the flash.
It's a Constitution saving throw, right?
Yeah, it's not gonna work, but yes.
No, it doesn't. That was a natural 18, and they have a.
Ruby's whole body is going to ignite into fire. She casts Fire Shield upon herself. Zedaar is going to cast Bless. We're going.
Every time a new combat run goes on, I'm flashing him again. So as long as it takes, I've got 26.
What's the
charges
DC
of
on
this.
these?
Of the skill of the gem of blinding, it is. Let me
Natural 20.
check.
3.
Ruby is going to
15.
DC 15.
DC
Okay, cool.
15.
Thank you.
Yeah, DC 15. So every just tell me how many I go through by the time something happens, because I've got double digits to go through.
You're currently through 6.
I'm casting
Ruby is going
mirror
to
image on myself.
Okay.
Ruby is heightened casting banishment.
I've got 20 charges left.
You're casting banishment on it.
Heightened. He makes it with disadvantage. The saving throw.
It's charisma, right?
Yes, please. DC 19.
The dragon disappears.
I cannot hold it forever. Get the
It's
guards.
running out of charges, so that's good.
The chains to the floor.
Yeah. Can we, without the party
All of
here, I'm
them
not.
on all the rest of the dragons.
No, just him.
Just him. Hopefully.
The chain. He will break out very shortly. I cannot hold him forever. Get the army down here.
I'm pulling out my rifle, slapping some blood on it, giving it a lightning strike, and getting ready to shoot.
I'm gonna chug a potion of heroism.
Okay.
Yep. Same. I'm assuming that guard is working his ass off to get there quickly.
He's sprinting. He's fucking gone. Like.
Okay, these. Do we kill these two?
They're not going anywhere.
Right, but if this thing comes back and it's a big fucking fight, these two, maybe not the green one, I think he's fucked regardless, but the red one.
Time is ticking. What are you doing? Well.
Okay, 2 things. We've been here for approximately 30 minutes, correct? Or more.
What are you trying to ascertain?
Oh, well, I'm just trying to observe. We've been here longer than 3 minutes.
Longer than 3 minutes, yes.
Great. So I need to know the for the first one that was talked to, what its current HP and armor class is.
Oh God, I gotta get that character.
Isn't that just
The one
like
that's
relative to yours? Like it's
no, I
Yeah,
get
it's
I,
higher or lower.
I get
It's
to know
higher or
that.
lower.
Yeah, superior, higher, equal, or superior. Or no,
What's your
lower,
max HP
equal,
right now?
superior.
What's your HP right now?
120. 120.
The young green dragon is currently lower HP.
Okay, that's okay. Just tell me. Just it's the same for all of them. So armor class and HP. My armor class is 22.
Young green is lower.
Cool.
Adult red.
It's gonna be higher.
Higher, lower.
High. Oh, so the AC is lower.
Yeah, they're not in armor or anything. They've
cool,
got
so-
high armor, but they've got natural armor, so it's not.
Cool. And then the young
yeah,
red.
but their natural armor is what we wear for armor.
It's true.
And then and the young red is, I think, lower.
Cool. Okay. That
Yeah,
helps.
the adult's the big problem. It's
Yeah.
adult red.
Just want to make sure.
Too angry.
You got it too pissed?
Why is he gonna go poking animals in cages?
We needed to. We were told that these bindings were fucking legit.
Been here for weeks.
Yeah, they've been here for weeks. Why haven't they not broken out till now?
Haven't been angry.
He hadn't hulked out enough.
You've just given him some information, or her.
Ruby is going to drink her potion of heroism. I'm assuming Zedaar is going to cast Bless on the group.
Okay.
Towards the end of the minute.
We are down to 4 people out of our possible of 7.
Please,
Yeah.
I don't want to do a dragon fight with a
I am
quarter.
unwilling to do an adult red dragon fight with half as many of the party. So,
cool.
I think on a cliffhanger, we need to leave it here. Sadly. So
here with the dragon come back.
He will come back because he's not from a different plane. So as soon as the spell runs out.
Yep. So there's probably 2 rounds before that happens because it's a minute for the spell.
Yeah.
So with 2 rounds,
12 seconds.
With 2 rounds before it happening.
Oh shit!
And a week for Midge to create a map.
And a week for Midge to create a map.
God.
We shall leave it here.
All my stuff's DC 15 saves. I have nothing for this fight.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised he failed the 19, but disadvantage helped, I guess.
Disadvantage did help.
He didn't use a legendary saving throw. That's what.
Because he wants out of here.
Because he.
Fight off an army.
Anyway,
he's got to kill the other 9,000 people of this city.
So anyway,
yeah, she'll look at the green and go, "Told you I'd let you all out."
So, without further ado, we're going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. All I've got left to do today is to thank the players who've been playing with me. I've been joined by DM Lake, Beth Dillingham, Lord Lambert, Commissar Roach, Kinda Odder. We're normally joined by Mordred Viking and Ghibli Jam, and we will see you guys next time. Bye now. One of you guys also, you need to fill in the others. But what the fuck just happened? Okay, right.
So
See you guys
we
around.
may have go to the dragon to breaking its spine.